Hi everyone! So many of you guys have asked me to make a practicing tips video. Now I think this is quite a broad topic and the tips vary so much depending on what kind of level of musician you are, but today I wanted to share with you my top very general practicing tips which I think can apply to everyone and anyone. So here you go! Tip number 1 is mindset. Always check what mindset you're in before you start practicing. Are you going to be able to focus and put all of your energy and dedication into your practice session? Have you eaten? Because practicing when you're hungry or worse, hangry is literally the worst. Trust me, I know. Basically, my point is, if you are not focused and your mind is not present when you practice, you're just wasting your time. So it's better to go away from the instrument, clear your head, and come back to practicing a little bit later. Tip number 2 is purpose. Why are you practicing? Why are we spending so much time practicing? I think it's really important to have an objective for your practice sessions, and that for me is 2 things. It's a short-term goal, so what I want to achieve in my current practice session and in my upcoming practice sessions, as well as a long-term goal. What do I want to achieve in the long run through my practice sessions? So I think having a very clear idea of that and your goals is very constructive for your practice sessions in general. And another very important tip is to listen. Tip number 3 is patience. This was a tough one for me, and by patience I mean like if something isn't going well in your practice session. So many things can go wrong in practice sessions. That's what practicing is for. But in those moments, I think it's really important not to get frustrated, not to keep repeating things mindlessly, because I truly believe that just develops bad habits ultimately. So I think it's important to work on things constructively as much as you can at that moment, but then also learn to stop and leave it and trust yourself that it will get to where you want it to be eventually, but you just need time to get there. So I think it's also really important to think about these issues or whatever doesn't work away from the instrument, away from the practicing room. Just think about it mentally and then come back to it in a more strategic way. So always believe that you can achieve it, but understand that it might just take a little bit of time to get there. Tip number 4 is inspiration. I think this is the most important tip for all of us, really. Oftentimes we are practicing in not very glamorous places such as this one or circumstances, and I think it's really important to keep that inspiration and that energy and to envision what our dreams are, to envision performing on stage or recording or performing with your friends, with an orchestra or chamber music, whatever it is that you love to do and whatever the purpose of practicing is. I think it's really important to have that clear image in your head, in your heart, and to not forget the inspiration and the joy and the love of making music, even if you're by yourself in a practice room. And oftentimes we are so focused on minute details or some technicalities when we practice, but I think it's also really important to always be open to discovering, to searching within the music. So even if we're, focusing on a certain thing, to still leave our minds and our ears open to experiencing new things, to be open to the joy of creating, which I think is one of the biggest pleasures of making music. Ultimately, I'd say that practicing is very important, but only if you nurture the inspiration as well. Okay guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully it is helpful to some of you out there. Let me know if you want to see a more detailed practice video, like depending on what kind of level you're at, or yeah, something like that, or just in general what kind of video you want to see. I haven't filmed a video in a very, very long time. Sorry about that, but I am trying to get back to it. So let me know what kind of content you want to see. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye!